Oh, look, he's not even got it on. He's not even got it on. Look, he's just got it draped over his shoulder.
I think basically, I just wanted to remind everyone of who the premier edge rusher in the NFL is.
Yeah, he's just signed for the Green Bay Packers. But anyway, good
Don't think
evening,
so.
Douglas. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, everyone. If anyone's actually watching, but we're here, we're live.
We'll watch later, no doubt. But yeah, it's one of those ones, isn't it? It's defending champ here in the house. And it's new season. We're ready to go again. It's came round all so quickly. And it's good to go. It starts
Ab-
tonight, Douglas.
Absolutely, game one. The champs, the Eagles, against Dallas. I mean, Craig, can we just laugh at Dallas for a minute? Now, I want to get on board with Jerry's chat about, we need to defend the rush. We need interior D linemen. We need to, free up, I presume, free up budget for, moving forwards rather than just watching Micah Parsons sack every quarterback that he comes across. But Graham said, I don't know, Graham will have said to you many times, but he said a couple of years ago, right, well, until Jerry changes, nothing will change. And it is so true. Like he's an old wealthy billionaire that just doesn't care. He can do what he wants, so he does.
I mean, it's the whole thing, is As long as they're relevant, as long as they're in the news, that's all Jerry Jones cares about in this day and age. He's getting he's getting to that stage in life into now where it's just as long as they're in the headlines, that's all he's caring about. But I'll tell you what, I mean, I get it, right? The Eagles are the 8-point favourites. They should be maybe, but it's not going to overly surprise me if Dallas come out. I mean, their offense is still good. They've got a good quarterback. They've got good receivers now. Pickens is there. I wouldn't be surprised if they go and score some points and make this a close game tonight. I really wouldn't.
Well, it's the NFL, so like close games, yeah, they tend to just find their way sometimes. But other than complacency, the Eagles should beat them. Like they should. Come on, they should easily.
They should, but it's week one in the
I
NFL.
know,
You just
I
never
know,
know.
I know. I get that, but I think. Do you not think that on the D side that Dallas would be presuming all along that Parsons would get sorted out and that the plan would be that Parsons would be there, whereas now maybe in 3 or 4 weeks' time they'll settle into something without him. But week one, if they'll be caught in their heels a bit, will they not?
I mean, mate, it was done late. I mean, is Mika going to hit the ground running is another big question. But I mean, they've been practicing without him. He's not been there, so
I know. Anyway, listen, on your side, I'm going to say this genuinely, like for years, the lack of D in Green Bay, I was pretty comfortable. I just always felt it was an issue. The last couple of years, I've talked your D up a little bit, and but kind of deep down, we all knew that there wasn't quite enough there, and they were very young, still are very young. Now you've probably gone and done the one obvious thing that can help on both sides of the ball, because you know me, I'm never going to talk up a Packers quarterback. I do think Jordan Love's a bit Hollywood, etc. But you've got a good run game. Uh, he's not he's not like outright awful. Of course, he's not. He's very capable of passing the ball out. If he can be controlled, you've now got a defense that means he doesn't have to score 30 points a game. So yeah, there's a there's an issue in town without question. Uh, you've probably gone from making the playoffs, yeah, to maybe getting through a playoff game to now, now you've got a potential for winning the Super Bowl in San Francisco. Not something I plan for my 50th birthday next year. So yeah, on the flip side,
Well,
well,
not all in. It's
the
you
noose is
make
out
your
the net.
moves. It's not all in. It's. I mean, you're making a move, and you're saying, right, okay, we've maybe got. What you're forgetting as well is 2 years ago, Jordan Love did score 31 points on a game.
Oh no, absolutely.
And he's very capable of doing so as well. But now he doesn't have to as well, which is, it's the Kansas way, innit? You look over at Kansas, and they're winning games by one-score games constantly because they've got such a shit hot
Yeah.
team. So,
You've
you make
made your move,
yeah,
right?
well,
Now
particular
we
intention
we made our move for Trey Lance. Didn't really work, I'm gonna say.
didn't really work.
Right? But you put my neck in the noose, right? Of course you did. We made our move, and it hasn't worked. Even with Purdy, it's not worked. We've not got over the line. So now you've made your move. So it's your turn on the chopping block.
No, I get that. I do understand that. That is very much the case. But what gives me great pleasure is the fact that you didn't get it done when you were on the chopping block. So
Vegas
what's
man,
the worst that can
oh,
happen? I
I'm
get the same.
taking Vegas to my grave. I've said that on the night, and I'll keep saying it. Taking it to my grave. That was the one for sure. Anyway, we move on. Right. Show
Yes.
me the money. Show me the
Show me the
money.
money. Year 12.
Year 12. So that's I've got a ring. You've got a ring. Sean's got 3 rings, 4 rings,
Four.
4.
4 rings. 4 rings.
Groty's got none. Like
Correct.
none because he's like awful. Uh, I've got the history here as well because I thought we'd better talk over some of that. Where are we with Groty? Because I know that what is he? He's in his car topless, doing God knows what. It's not good. So here's Groty.
Yeah, we don't want to know what Groty's doing
Here's
right now.
Groty. 6 and 7. I'm going back to 2018 in league reconstruction. Our league went back a bit longer than that, but in full league reconstruction, 2018, 6 and 7. Then he was 7 and 6. Then he was 6 and 7. Then he threw in 2021. 2021 back at COVID. He threw in a 10 and 4. He won the division. Do you remember that?
I
Second
do, I
seed.
do remember that.
Se-
He sold his
Second,
soul to the devil, though,
yeah,
didn't he?
second
In the
seed.
next couple of seasons, tell it.
Right. Second seed, he came 7th, so that fell flat this year. Then he went 3 and 11 because he sold his soul to the devil. Then he went 9 and 5. He did get a wee 9 and 5. So he got himself in the playoffs in 2023. That was the year I won it, but yeah, he finished 6th, so he got nowhere. And then last year, what did he do last year? 5 and 9. Yeah, he was like the pick to the division again. He finished 15th, so yeah, hence he got an early pick this year. Poor Groty. Anyway, to be fair, I think he did actually quite a good job of the draft this year. Now, Johnny was wanting me to share the screen, but I did say to Johnny, well, here we go, isn't it? Let's share screen. Right, let's see, here we go.
Yeah,
Here we go.
you've got a present button next to your name, your picture at the
All
bottom
good, I
left-hand
just
side of
need,
the screen.
Craig, I just need to get other things off the screen just in case.
That's worse than what Groty's doing right now, Doug. I'm not going to lie.
Just in case things happen, right? Right, what we on? Show me the money. Wait a minute, we need to get the right. Where's the draft board? Here we go, draft board. There's the one. Right. I don't. Has that come up at your end?
Nope.
For fuck's sake.
We've got nothing at this end. Sorry,
Well,
I'm actually in a wee silly last-minute draft here at the moment as well. I'm just drafting Colson Loveland and I don't know who else yet. Right, it's away again.
Well, let's not worry about
I
that.
just
I've tried to speak the draft board. It might be shown to other people, to be fair. It's not saying that it's a problem. Oh, Mark's got a nice new logo. Well, it's the Jets, but
that's got this, you know.
it's a logo. Right, so we'll do the draft review. We better do that because that's what the show is
Yeah,
meant to be
Groty's done
about.
okay though. Well, I think the whole starting off in Groty's team, we have to talk about the absolute robbery that was committed. Not so much robbery. I mean, see, at the end of the day, poor Ross, he went on auto and he'd set his cue with all his quarterbacks at the top. It's the only way that could have happened. So he gets stuck with 4 quarterbacks. I gave him a nice out, and but at the end of the day, everyone's got quarterbacks. It's a 1 quarterback league. What else are you going to really get for him? And you can't sit on Daniels and Allen. There's just absolutely no point whatsoever. They're starters in the agency. So what are you going to get for him? So I kind of do understand Ross taking it a little bit.
Right. So first of all, slightly annoyed that I didn't do it. Not going to lie. And when the draft was going on, I kind of looked at it and I thought, well, he's not going to need Daniels. Nah, can't risk not taking a quarterback. Thought the same with Mark and Kelsey and Andrews, but can't risk that. I never actually thought about going in immediately after the draft and preying on the vulnerable, which obviously Grote did. I've got no issues with that. And to be fair, in the past, like, you've definitely tried to take advantage of Grote and succeeded. I mean, I've always tried to be fair with him and not be like you. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, you have. Of course, you have.
I've always been fair to Grote, but he's flipped it on its head, and he's seen a moment. All of us could have like offered better, which would have been difficult because that was like a proper derisory offer. But he did. He shot his shot. He won. Fair play. Now he's got a team there. I mean, so he didn't keep anyone, did he? He started again. He drafted Bucky. Then he went for Lad McConkey. He then got Kenny Walker back, which he could have kept. I think he had him. Laporta, Olave, Ted McMillan. Judkins probably went a bit early on, but might still work out. Kenny Coleman, not really drafting him much myself. I know you've drafted him a little bit, but starting receiver for the Bills, draft good players from good teams. Rashad White, so he's cuffed Bucky Irving. So, to be honest, ideal. Took Tua, we would never have done that when we since got rid of him, but he sorted that out with Daniels. Got the Broncos D, happy days. Keaton Mitchell and the lad Wilson from Arizona. I mean, his bench, yeah. He's maybe not got a lot there, but I think when we look at all the teams, it will be the same.
That's the thing. It's a 16 teamer in it, so the bench is very difficult to get it there. Let me see
Totally.
if I can just. It's very difficult to get the bench going.
The flex spot is like quite telling in terms of like your quality. If you've got someone good in your flex spot, you must have an okay team. And he's basically looking at Olave or Ted McMillan in his flex. I mean, that should be pretty good. You know, he's got
You
Lad
see my
McConkey.
screen?
No. No. Basically, we're screen sharing like retards. But let's not worry about
stop doing that.
Because who knows what you're showing us?
Yeah, so, no, that's so. I think he's done well. I mean, he's got a great starting lineup. I think he's to have Daniels in at quarterback and then still have two running backs like Irvin and Walker is strong. And his 2 receivers are great as well. So,
first thing I would do if I was him is I'd be going and finding if I could get Charbonnet. Oh no, he won't. Johnny's got him. So he's not getting Charbonnet from Johnny for love nor money. But I would have been looking to try and get Charbonnet if I could, and then he would be properly sorted out. But yeah, he's looking good for a wee run at the north.
I agree. I do agree. I think I think his starting lineup's really strong. So it does worry me a little bit that he could be on a good year.
Totally. So then, right? So we'll stick to the division. and we better go to the perennial pains in the arse factory of sadness. Who,
Indeed.
as per usual, was drafting all over the place because he likes to trade. So, Sean, how do you start? He had no fourth and fifth rounder, no fourth, fifth, or seventh rounder. Picked 3 times in the eighth, a couple of times in the 10th. So, yeah, he's
Hells.
yeah, he's put his eggs in the young running back basket after Derrick Henry. So he's got Caleb Johnson, Tank Bigsby, Trey Benson, the boy Samson at Cleveland. So yeah, he's relying on Caleb Johnson pleasing Aaron Rodgers, which might be a wee bit tricky. Not
That's
good
been third
reports.
in the depth chart, let's not forget.
Yeah, it's like I mean I kind of said a few weeks ago that if the lack of pass protection and Aaron Rodgers doesn't please him and he tends to get his way, so it might take him half a season to find his way to the forefront, but he's bound to. He's too good to not get past Jalen Warren. But anyway, he's got Jamar Chase, obviously speaks for himself. Derek Henry should have another good year. Mike Evans should be money in the bank. He's maybe a bit thin in depth. Darnell Mooney, Adam Thielen. I like Thielen. Don't know if I like him back at Minnesota or not, but do you know what? Maybe there's going to be a theme in our division here. I think it's a decent enough starting lineup, and it just depends what your injury luck is.
Yeah, I think Sean's heavily relying on Henry and Chase doing Henry and Chase things, and Evans still having it there. I think he's quite weak at running back. It's certainly to start the season.
Yeah,
I just don't know how much Bigsby's really going to get, and even when even if he is on the field, how much they're going to throw the ball a lot. They've got Thomas, they've got Hunter joining them now, and I just see them throwing the ball a lot, and I don't, and it's just such a muddled backfield that I think he could have a problem at running back.
and then he's taking Justin Fields quite late. Could be anything. Could be genius. Could be nothing.
I mean, it could be genius if he's going to run the way Justin Fields runs, and he's got a top class receiver in Wilson to throw to. So, it could be, I hope it's a big season for him because I've got him in a few dynasties.
Well, and Wilson is his college wide receiver, but is it not just Fields seems to think that he's a pocket passer as well, and he almost wants to prove that. And I suspect he'll try the same with the Jets. He'll try and pocket pass for the first few weeks as much as he runs. He'll struggle with that, and then he'll start to run it a bit more because he's struggling with the passing, and then it'll all like slowly break down. The only thing, and the real big thing in his favour is there really anyone sitting behind him to trouble him?
Well, it's Tyrod Taylor, isn't it? So if there's no
So
one sitting behind him, I think he gets the full season.
yeah,
Win, lose, draw, great or awful, he's going to get the full season. So there's going to be points there. He's
yeah,
going to have some bad games. It's a bad team, but he'll have some good games as well, I think.
100%. So that's the factory then, right? I've clicked on you next, ladies
Yeah.
first and all that. Like you never made a trade, you won the title without a trade. Irritating on two fronts. So you didn't even sell yourself up the river to do it.
I did not. I was always confident.
But but I was sitting watching it and I could tell like the picks you were making. We draft a lot together, so we get an idea of who likes who. And I'm sitting looking at it, and every pick I'm like, I've not seen that. I've not seen that. And the only guy that you picked that I thought, oh, well, I've seen that is Tyler Warren. And Horton later on, Mims, yeah, but I mean, they are what they are. But in the first 5 or 6 rounds, I was like, holy shit, he's been backed down an alley he does not want to be in. So I was pleased about that much.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much explains the draft. To be honest with you, it was the I just didn't like what was falling to me, you know. And I mocked a couple of times, and you know, like Henderson got to me in the third, for example. So I got Henderson there, and you know, Booker got to me back round to me, so I got him there, and you know, and it just kind of honestly it got away from me a little bit. I'm old, that's for sure. I'm absolutely old, but do you know what? I don't actually hate it. I really don't. You know, Achan and Taylor should do very well. I'm kind of annoyed that I've got Taylor and Warren there. I obviously get rid of Eckler because I didn't want the two commanders, and you know, I wanted Jordan Love, and I thought I would be smart and take it and let him go another round, thinking he would come back to me because everyone had their quarterbacks, but obviously he went to Ross, so I traded Eckler away for him. But I'm still happy with my backs. You know, I don't Kamara's. Yeah, he's going to get a lot of touches. You know, and so yeah, I'm fine with it. Actually, it got away from me, but I'm fine with it. I think it's.
I was surprised when you took Adams because I've seen you draft Metcalf and Pickens a bit.
Yeah, I went a little bit different there, going with Adams. I just wanted, I fancied a change. I mean, he's in the pre-season. He's been doing great. You know, no one can. He's been linking up with. Well, it wasn't really Stafford, was it? But he's been doing really well in pre-season, and I just thought, you know, he's a touchdown hog. He's a target at the end zone. You know, and I could easily see him scoring more points than Booker this year just because he's there. You know. So yeah, I just thought I'm going to take the swing with Adams. Plus, I knew Aaron was waiting on him coming back because he's obviously got the Adams Raiders shirt, so I knew he was going to want him coming
back. Yeah, good shout. You like stitch up your boy. I see what you've done there.
Pretty much was that was the plan.
Sometimes you've got to do that.
His first
you know?
year, he can't go getting all the players that he wants in his first year. You know, he's got to learn the hard way. If you don't learn, then what use is it?
100%. So yeah, so that's you. I mean, later on, well, you obviously you took Bryce Young, you traded for Young for Love, so you've got rid of him. DJ Gibbons, you've done your handcuff, so you're locked there at the Colts, which that escaped me right until now that you've done that. So that was obviously annoying.
That's exactly what I was doing. Just making sure.
Yeah, no. So yeah, you're solid. I think a lot of it will boil down to A-Chain. And A-Chain, because I'm not expecting much from Miami this season at all, but that's exactly the sort of situation where he could absolutely, he's capable of being right up there, running back wise. You know, so
if he stays fit, he's got to stay fit. Is the thing, you know. He's been beaten up a lot, and he's got to stay fit. He's not the biggest dude, you know. But if he can stay fit, he plays it.
Yeah, you missed out on Ollie Gordon because I know you've taken him in places.
I wanted him. He just went too early. I wanted him. He was very much next round. He went too early for me.
You couldn't resist Tory Horton. You took him just before him.
Yeah, I reached down for him quite a bit, but I think he'll be involved early.
I think you've got Horton in about 8 leagues. Anyway, so right, that's you. Right, we'll finish off the division with me. So, yeah, I only kind of had a dawning realization on the way home tonight when I was thinking about this that I gave up Josh Jacobs and then Graham took him with like the third pick of the draft. I never really thought about keeping him. And so now it's gnawing at me that I've maybe been a bit rash by not doing so because I kept Chase Brown instead. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I actually don't know if I've maybe done the right thing. But anyway, they're maybe interchangeable.
Chase Brown's going to have a lot of touches as well. It's, you know, Chase Brown's a fine pick.
We should do it. So I was hell bent on getting Trayvon Henderson, James Conner, Pacheco, or Pollard, or RJ Harvey was the other one. That was 5, I thought I have to get one of them. I really wanted Henderson. Did not think he would go early in the third. Probably was a bit naive to do so. Anyway, I got Pollard. He was my third choice. I would have taken Connor before him. And I was determined that I was then going to get Ricky Pearsall or Calvin Ridley. Probably Ridley, then Pearsall. Pearsall went early. So again, Chris, we'll get to Chris. He took Pearsall and Henderson. So that left me with, and Booker was my next one, but I didn't want to take him that early, but I couldn't see anyone else that I really wanted. And I thought, well, I kind of knew that you would have your eye on him, and you had 2 picks. If you only
Yeah, I
had one
liked him back.
so
That was the one that
I
hugged
thought,
me.
I'm just taking him. I'm not, and I had to go. I had in my head that I had to have back and receiver because I missed my third round pick, and I wanted 2 receivers and 2 backs by the time I got to the 7th round. So yeah, I just took him. Jennings was an accident. I'm still not sure if I've done the right thing with him, but he's now in a contract year basically, and he's been given a lot of money to shut him up and been told to basically go and prove you're worth a contract to someone else. I don't think he'll be with us next year now. I think someone else will give him more than we'll pay him. But I think he's going to have to go out there and earn it. So that's maybe a good thing. But he's got Kittle, McCaffrey, and Pearsall to compete with.
He'll do okay.
He'll do okay. He'll be 900 yards, etc., etc. Took Purdy.
Yeah, something like that. I agree.
Wanted Prescott. If I'm being honest, because I think the Cowboys will just throw the shit out of it. Purdy, I think, will do absolutely fine. I think he'll not shoot the lights out, but he'll not drop a bomb for me either. But we've got an easy slate and we'll run the ball quite a bit, so his upside is probably limited, but he'll not lose me matches, hopefully. And after that, it was just a case of trying to find some running backs that will get some game time. So I took Dobbins and Davis. I like Ray Davis. I'm obsessed by James Cook getting an ACL in week 1, and that will make the whole season. And Njoku, I've always liked him, but he's a bit injury prone. And after that, it's just a pile of rusty bolts. But yeah, I think our league will be supremely competitive, or our division, sorry. And it could go for any of us. I think it's tight as it always has been. I kind of would love to be in an easier division, or perceivably easier, but it is what it is. It's good fun. So that's the North.
I do think Roty's a favourite, though. I've got to say, I think getting that, adding Daniels to what he already had, I see him. I think he's got it in him this year to top the division anyway, and see what happens in the playoffs.
Don't disagree with that. I mean, he'll screw it up. He always does. But
we'll see. Well, he'll start trading, thinking he's got a chance, and he'll trade this for stupid. You know.
He's been very active and sleeper in the last couple of weeks. I think he's getting right into it. I think finally he's trying to embrace it. We just need to get Mrs. Grote into a league to keep domestic bliss sorted out. But we'll find a league. We'll find a league for him. Right. Well, so that is the North. Let's do the South next. So that is Graham's division. So Graham, who is basically the biggest underachiever in Show Me the Money history. Would you agree?
Yeah, I can't disagree. I've got to say, he's one. I mean, he's been to the Super Bowl, which is, you know, others can't say that, but he has been to the Super Bowl. But you know, for a player of his stature, you would think that he'd, you know, been to a couple more.
I mean, he's always picking early because he's been so bad. So last year he was 50-50. The year before he was 3-11. The year before that he was 7-7. The year before that he was 8-6. The year before that he was 3-10. 2019 was his Super Bowl year at 11-2. And fair play, got to the Super Bowl but screwed that up. Before that, he was 6-7. Before that, he was 8-5, 5-9, 8-6. I mean, huge underachiever, particularly with the draft.
He's certainly middle of the road.
He's been neither here nor there. So he needs to come to the party. We know
He
that it
does.
must be. We know that it must be annoying him, like big time.
It's too
Because
very
he's
much
got
so.
you and I to deal with. But and he always so I've said this repeatedly. Graham always, to me, drafts well. Things just seem to
Yeah.
fall to him, or he just goes and makes a pick in the 6th or 7th round. You're like, well, yeah, great, that's the obvious pick. Why is that falling to him? And it happened. I thought
Yeah.
it happened again in this draft. Roma Doomsday, end of the 6th round.
Yeah, that
And
was
you
a
think,
good pick
well,
for him at
last
this
year
stage.
he's one of the premier picks of last year's draft in real life. So so he picks up
We
Jacobs, he
talked
goes for
we
Hampton.
talked about we talked about Rome on Wednesday night at the tennis, right? And he says
Uh-huh.
he just couldn't let him go any further. He said it was it broke him to make the pick. You know, it was one of those nah picks, but it was one that he thought he had to make at the time, and he's right because it is. I mean, he could easily be the Chicago's #1 receiver this year.
Yeah. So the Bears are going to be different. They're bound to be, for better or worse, they're going to be different. Ben Johnson is going to change that offense, and it could be anything. But and the only thing is that they are in a difficult division. They're facing a lot of good D's, but that's his third receiver. He's picked up Devonta Smith and Jalen Waddle before then. He's got Jacobs and Hampton. Najee Harris will be a wee pain in the neck for first half of the season, maybe to an extent. But I mean, Hampton's likely to be a keeper going forward. He's got George Kittle. Kittle stays fit. He's potentially tight end 1. Certainly the best tight end in the NFL, full stop. I can't get on board with Jaden Blue at the Cowboys, but he knows more about the Cowboys than me. But everything I've read is that he's a bit of a just not quite.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a young bag of bolts
But
that's on the bench.
Cowboys.
A couple of them could break.
Yeah, so Josh Downs, who's on his bench, really good receiver, and the longer that Richardson's not the quarterback, probably the better for him.
Would agree.
And then his bench, like everyone else, it's the same. The one thing I thought about the draft, and I said it in the chat, is that there's a couple of clangers, and we'll come to Ray and whatnot. But I mean, generally, I thought I think the level of drafting has like gone way up in this league. Like I think it's really strong. Everyone knows what they're doing. No one's making silly picks at all. It all goes.
Andy Dalton's not going in the first round.
Yeah. So no one's bench is looking skewed. It's like, and everyone's got an okay starting lineup. So that's Graham. Right, what have we got? Right, Ross is next on the list. Ross. So
Ross and his 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah, so Ross, and I don't know if he had a queue or not. He probably did, but yeah, Ross.
I think he did have a queue, but I think he'd put all his quarterbacks at the top, and that's why he kept drafting them.
Because the one thing about NFL.com, if you really wanted to, you could go and set your positional preference for each round, which you can't do here. But anyway, so it's Ross drafts no running backs and 4 quarterbacks. Like pretty good quarterbacks, to be fair.
He did.
But he's also he's ended up with Josh Allen, Nico Collins,
Marvin Harrison,
Xavier Worthy, Ramondre Stevenson. He's got Austin Eckler. So he's got a couple of backs for certainly the first half of the season. TJ Hawkinson, Khalil Shakir, and then a couple of rookie receivers in Harrison Burden. I mean,
it'll be competitive.
Ross is.
I mean, I don't see it winning, but it'll be competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. He's not. Depends what happens in agency and whatever else running back wise. But if he goes and like gets a bit fortunate running back. Everything else is there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's that he's got the thing is, and that's everyone's kind of got a couple of really good players in their team, you know, that can make the difference, and it's just can you plug the right guys in around them at the right time, and that's what this league's all about, you know, with being 16 teams, and you know, he's got Eckler and Stevenson, as you say, to start off the season, and you know, Keaton Mitchell's Derrick Henry injury away from being very, very relevant, you know. So it's and there'll be backs from that are in agency right now that come from nowhere. There always are. So he's if he's on agency, if he's on it and he's quick on agency and he gets the right guys in, he could very much be up there. But it's a long road ahead for Ross this year.
Yeah. So then we look right south here. Right, Alan, our favourite Vegas Raiders fan. What we got with Alan? Right, CD Lamb, Drake London, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. So there's a healthy trio.
Here's where your back went.
But he's then gone down the RJ Harvey, Jalen Warren, Cam Scatterbo, Dejan Tootenroot. Could be anything running back.
Yeah, he's went a lot of rookie running backs, you know, so it's, but I mean, they could very much come good. There's no reason to say they won't. And he's got three great wide receivers. He's got three, and I like the fact that he's stacked up Prescott and Lamb because they're going to be throwing the ball. They're going to be behind. They're going, you know, the other team's going to score points on them. So
it's not just that. They've not got an obvious running game.
No, not at all. Javonte Williams, I mean, he's okay, but I don't think the line's going to be very good either.
No, so that Prescott and Lamb will win matches on their own. You know, they will get him 2 or 3 wins, just the two of them.
Yeah, I agree. Because you know, if the two of them, if they can go off in a few games, you know, and Lamb's say getting maybe 30 points and Prescott's getting 30 points, that's enough to win a game. You know, 60 points in this league is enough to win a game.
Yeah, good point. And see Bill's defense, Aubrey at kicker, you know, bits and pieces around the edges, nice. Loveland should be good, but depends how quickly he's good. There's another team, another starting lineup that looks all right. Then we go on to former champion Bluetooth Chris Bruce. Chris always drafts well too. So what have we got?
Chris has been very unlucky the last, I think, definitely last year, but I think the year before too, where he's you know, he's just been very unlucky with injuries, you know, and it's hurt him along the way. So he needs a bounce back this year.
So here's again a good starting lineup again. Jefferson as a keeper. Kyren Williams. Was Kyren a keeper or did Chris draft him? I think he maybe drafted him.
I think he might have kept him.
Possibly. Either way.
Oh no, I don't think he did. No, I think he did draft him actually. Sorry, I think he did draft him.
Then Trayvon Henderson, Jameson Williams, Ricky Pearsall, Jordan Mason, Chris Godwin, Goff, Braylon Allen, Hollywood Brown, Ollie Gordon, Mason Taylor, the Bucks defense, and the Atlanta kicker. Solid.
I really like the tight end he's went for. I think Taylor's going to be involved right from the get-go. And he'll be a safety net.
It's the Jets and it's Fields, so he can only be so good. Sure. But it's your tight end. Your tight end ain't winning, you're losing this league.
No, absolutely not. But that's the thing, and but he is one that, you know, if he does take off and he does become a safety net for Fields, he could end up, you know, he could win you games if you've got, you know, 14, 15 points from your tight end and another guy's got 1.5. You know, that's a big boost to your finances.
So that's a tight division, actually.
It's a very tight division.
Wouldn't actually like to call that one. Don't get me wrong, I would not like to be Graham Alan or Chris when Ross wins that league after drafting 4 quarterbacks because they'll feel a bit stupid.
It's one of those ones where this is part of the problem Graham's got as well. It's always a very tight division, you know.
Yes.
It's Ross can kind of tends to be the whipping boy a little bit, but Alan, Chris, and Graham are always really tight, really close, and they're always taking games off each other because of that, you know.
Yeah.
And it's why they always end up kind of 8 and 6, 7 and 7 a piece type thing, you know.
So move on to the East. We've got Graham, we've got Fark, Eagle. So keeps Saquon Barkley for, I don't know how many years Graham's had him now, but it's a few.
No, it's not. He's had him for 1 year. Remember, Joe had him. Joe had him in Kamara for years, and then he dropped him, and then I picked him up,
That's right.
and then I let him go to keep Achad and Taylor,
right.
and you ripped me for it, and then they won me the Super Bowl.
Well, I don't know if they did, but I was still anyway. We'll move on from you winning because that's history, right? That's in the past.
Yeah, he did. He has been able to keep Barkley this year, and
Anyway.
obviously, it was me that let him go in order
That's
to let
right.
Graham pick him up last year.
Feel like that with Josh Jacobs and Graham. Anyway, Barkley, Teddy McLaurin, Jalen Hurts, Aaron Jones, Calvin Ridley, sniping bastard, Stefan Diggs, Bill Crosby, Nick Chubb, Rico Dowdle, Kyle Pitts, T. Slack, the Detroit rookie, the Seahawks D, Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill pulled out of the undergrowth and the new Baltimore kicker. Look, again,
I mean, it's
two good
I like that
bats,
he's got
three
Diggs
good
down there.
receivers.
He took Diggs just before I was planning on taking Diggs. I was thinking about Diggs, I have to say. I like that pick, I think. And I hated it last year. Remember, I was trying to give him away for a bag of sweeties in some of the leagues. But I like Diggs for this year, I have to say. I think he's going to do well. I think Drake May is going to do very well. And because of that, I think Diggs will have a big season.
Can't disagree. I really like Ridley. I think he's going to have a good season. Aaron Jones, he's maybe, if anything, yeah, he might have a problem at running back. I mean, I've not taken Barkley anywhere. I don't think I've really bypassed him either, but I'm not taking him anywhere because is he not about to have a...
I've not taken him anywhere this year either. It's just he done so much last year that you got to think that his body's going to break down at some point.
Yeah. And you've got Aaron Jones. I mean, you know, Jones, he'll struggle to last the course as well. He'll miss 2 or 3 games in the middle, and it's a case of, is Bill Crosby merit actually something at Washington or not? Nick Chubb would be. Nick Chubb will get early touches, but Nick Chubb's, he's done, really.
Yeah, I agree. I can't get in on Chubb. If Mixon doesn't come back, I think if they don't go and get someone because if they're not, you know, if they're doing well, they might go and get someone. If they don't, then I think it'll be Pierce come the second half of the season if Mixon doesn't come back.
They'll just cobble a running game together just for the hell of it, but otherwise they'll be throwing the ball. They'll just throw it.
Yeah,
and their D is pretty good, so you know they'll maybe get away with that. But yeah, Dowdle will do fine if Hubbard misses any time. But other than that, Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, I agree with you that the running backs are. But if Barkley can go, see, you know how I said I loved the Dak Prescott Lamb stack. This is the exact opposite. I hate the Hurts Barkley stack. I really do, because I mean Hurts does a lot of his work running as well, and that's when Barkley's taking points off Barkley, etc. You know, so I don't like the double down on those two. I've got to say.
Couldn't agree more. So right, that's us written Graham off. The first team was written off properly. Right, let's go on to Mark, my favourite trading buddy.
Well, Kelsey's coming your way at some point this season. We all know that.
I do feel like he drafted him there just so that he can provide that opportunity later in the season for me. So I can assure you there's actually been zero private chat about that, but we don't need that. We just know there's telepathy. So fair play. So Mark kept Bijan and Garrett. I'm not going to lie, I wouldn't have kept Garrett Wilson. I think that was a mistake, but he's obviously a little bit wedded to the Jets. I mean, he could have had Drake London. Could have had Lad McConkey, but anyway, he's got Garrett. But nice pickup in T. Higgins in the third round. I like that. Absolutely could get on board with that one because if he stays fit, I think, to me, Joe Burrow is right up there for potential MVP this year.
They have to win, though. They have to win. They have to start quickly. They have to win, and he has to overcome an awful defense.
Yes.
He's going to have to score a lot of points, and T. Higgins gets injured a lot.
Which I think they'll do, and I think he'll set all sorts of fantastic, not necessarily records, but I think he'll be touching on them if he's got both those wide receivers fit because of the D. But as you say, they have to win for him to get MVP because if Lamar Jackson can't get MVP last season, then bloody hell. I don't know what you have to do. Anyway, he's then stacked that up with Burrow. So
yeah, I like the stack. I do like the stack on it though.
That's going to win him matches. Kelsey and Andrews, he's going to have a bit of a problem working out which one of them to pick each week. So he either hits or he misses, and it could be either or. They'll both get points, but I don't think they'll both get points every week. So that's a selection problem. So he'd probably be as well sending Kelsey to me for a fairly cheap price. He's got the other Brian Robinson or B. Robinson. I don't know. Even if he can't be hurt, I don't know how much he'll do for us.
Mark has that uncanny knack of getting the right guy in at the right time, the right stuffer in when he scores 20 points.
He does. Do you know how we were talking about Graham being the league's biggest underachiever?
Yeah.
I'm going to say
Mark's the biggest overachiever.
Is the biggest overachiever by a million miles. So 2 years ago when when you and Johnny were a little bit upset by the deals that we did, when he notionally gave me Mahomes, etc., he came fourth. He scraped into the playoffs 7-7 and came fourth.
With absolutely nothing because he traded everything away and he came fourth. It's uncanny.
Bag of rusty nuts. I mean, he came. He's been. What was it? I'm looking back here. He's second seed before he's done that. He won it. He won it in 2017.
He won it in 2017.
He won it in 2017, and then he came second the following year, which is no mean feat. You would take second right now, I would imagine. Well,
I'll take it to the ball and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah. So, anyway, league's biggest overachiever, but I love him a bit because he's always been a good trading partner.
He has done really well, but I think he's got good bits there. I think he's definitely a challenger for this division. And he's got a gimme week one, remember.
But see, if you've got Bijan and Garrett and T and Joe Burrow and Travis Kelce, why do you draft Mark Andrews and Bo Nix? He could have.
Yeah, well,
he could have solidified that because they're extra picks. He had 2 picks in the 6th and 7th, and they were his extra picks. And he could have added a nice back and receiver in there that would really have made him look very, very nice.
And invert you back to the biggest overachiever comment.
Yeah, well, quite. And then after that, Kyle Williams at New England, early season kind of analyst favourite, but he's disappeared from any sort of chat. QJ. Is it QJ Johnson, the Chargers receivers?
Oh yeah, it's huge. Yeah,
And
he could
Kareem
be
Hunt.
okay. He's a downfield threat. He'll score points in some games.
I know, but I tell you what, he's going to need it from his best 4 or 5 players, that's for sure. Anyway, he's a
Yeah,
live threat
definitely.
because
But
he's an overachiever. Right, then we're on to Joe. Joe was drafted when he was driving, and fair play to him, he did keep getting in and out. I don't know if he altered much or not, but he certainly
he
was
autoed a
trying his
couple.
best. So he's got the Browns, he's got Amon Ra, he's got AJ Brown, Cook and Swift, Mahomes. So again, good 5-player solid core there. And you know me, I've never been a Swift fan, but this year I kind of think by default he's going to do okay.
Yeah, I'm totally out. I couldn't be more out on. So let's not forget that the last time Johnson had him, he let him go.
He
He
did,
got
but
rid
he
of him
also
after a year.
he statistically did quite well at fantasy under him as well, though.
Yeah, it's, I mean, we'll see. I've never, as you know, I've never been a Swift
I
fan
know,
at
I
all,
know.
and I don't fancy him this year again either. But I mean, who knows? I just feel like they are going to be kind of up against it. I think they're going to have to prove that Caleb Williams is what everyone says he is. So I think they're going to go out there a lot, and I think they've got a lot of targets to do so. So
That's
I
true.
can see Swift being a little bit left out of it. Johnson's going to come in for the goal line carry, so he's not going to get the touchdowns from inside the 5, etc. And I think the wee rookie's sitting there, and I think he'll get some touches as well. I can't get on board, but I get why Joe's always got to take one of these bails, so it's Swift it is
Absolutely.
this year.
Then Jordan Addison, Kyler Murray is back up. Probably went a bit early when you've got Mahomes. Jaden Reed could be anything, but starting the season probably slightly injured. Goddard and Kincaid again. Who do you pick? You probably start with Goddard and slowly move over to Kincaid, Garendo, Tillman, Butker, and the 49ers D. But solid enough depth there, to be fair.
I
So,
mean, I think Jaden Reed's got a broken bone in his foot, and he's going to try and play through it. It's something that needs surgery, and he's going to try and play through it. I do not think I couldn't be more out on him now for fantasy, and I couldn't be more in on Romeo Dubs right
good.
now because I think
Agreed.
he's going to be him. It's going to be him and Golden that are out there in the majority. And where Dubs is going, I just he's dependable, he's reliable. I'm not saying he's going to set the world on fire, but he's going in like the 13th, 14th round.
Yeah, no, I kind of disagree with that. I picked him up myself a couple of times, kind of held my nose and done it. So I get that.
Jaden Reed does worry me. I don't think he's going to be. I think he's going to struggle because it's a sore injury. It's a sore one. It's one that you can play on, but it's a sore one. And I just think he's going to be less and less relevant. And Watson's looking at maybe 4 to 6 weeks, and then he's back in. And that'll just knock Jaden Reed further down. And you got to hope we're going to get something. Wicks is going to have learned how to catch a ball over the summer, and he can maybe become a little bit relevant. But it's, as you say, it's going to be a big running game as well. So I couldn't be more out on Reed now. So yeah, I
2-1
mean,
Tucker
drafting,
Craft.
what can you do? But when you're driving, but I think he's got a few pieces there. But I think it's a long road for Joe as well this year. I think
Don't you know?
2 years.
Joe's another guy who just finds a way.
He does, and it's.
Often find
But
that
I
he
think he's searching
find
for it. But I can see some regression in the Lions offense as well. That's not to say they won't
yeah.
be winning games and they won't make playoffs or anything, but I'm not convinced that St. Brown is going to score the way he did the last year or two. I think there'll be a
Can't
little bit of
disagree.
regression there.
So we finish off the East with Ray. Right, so Ray.
Right now, I doff my cap to the man. Right, I doff my cap to the man who can find the injured player in every single round. I mean, it was uncanny. It was absolutely uncanny. Congratulations, Ray, I didn't think I could ever be surprised in this game again, and you surprised me.
So I kind of sat there and I said after, I don't know what, we were the 5th or 6th round, I'm like, Yeah, no one's really dropping Ricketts. It's all good. It's kind of going with rankings. There's maybe like a couple of picks, yeah, and someone's like, "Oh, yeah, Mixon and Ray." I was like, "Yeah, no, that's one of them," but that was about it. Then it was like, "Oh, Rashi Rice, yeah, that was early, just because he's suspended for a while." But Rashi Rice is clearly a really good receiver. Then it's Johnny Smith, and I'm like, whew. Well, Johnny did well last year, probably not this year, but that's it. Then Dicker, the kicker, came out. I'm like, oh no, he's taking Johnny's kicker. Like, this is not good. And then Baker Mayfield, and Johnny likes Baker Mayfield as well. I'm like, oh my god, this is like proper like digs in the ribs. And then like Ayuk, Spears, McMillan. I'm like, holy IR hell.
Run. It was the
Uh,
run.
so yeah, then at that point you just got to start laughing. But so what's happened since then? So obviously
So
agents.
what? He's actually done all right. I'm looking at what he's got, right? And, he's got Mayfield at quarterback. That's going to be good. He's got McCaffrey, obviously, who could be the
Yes,
RB1 if he stays fit. He's got Puka sitting there. I mean, those three could win on games on their own,
yes,
you know?
yes. But
But he's
after
still kind of okay.
he's going to need those three to win the games because there's no one else.
Yeah, he's still
Uh,
getting okay. I mean, Johnson's going to get the goal line touches, right? So the Bears get into the 2 yard line, he runs one in, there's 6 points, boom,
Josh
Palmer
Palmer,
could easily get a few points, he's on a good offense, he's going to be out there. Wilson, he's going to be backing up Jacobs because Lloyd's permanent injury,
yeah,
So, I mean, it's
you
not
never
beyond the
know.
realms of possibility that he wins a few games, and
You
then
never
Ayuk
know.
comes back, and maybe Mixon comes back, and then all of a sudden you're looking at the team in a different light.
Are you? Do
I
you
mean, he
face?
fucked it up. Don't get me wrong, but he's at least went and fixed it.
Do you face him this season?
And I don't know, to be honest. I've not looked that far ahead. I just had a wee look at the predictions of my week 1 game and thought, oh, look at that! I'm 60% favourite in week 1.
We'll come back to that in a minute. Uh, I definitely play them because I've run through mine, and I play them about week 10, 11 or something like that. I'm just running through all the weeks now just to see if you do. Kind of
You can
obviously.
play him. I'll
Oh,
play him
you've
because we
got
play
you've
the
got
same
week
division.
9. You've
Yeah.
got a week 9, and at the minute you're 91% favourite. Uh, so yeah, so listen,
It's a
that's
long way to
fine.
week 9.
Onwards and upwards. The boys trying to play the band and draft. It's up
Yeah, I
nearly.
mean, listen, if he can hang about to halfway, get Mixon and Ayuk back, then you never know,
You never
It,
know. It would have helped if he still had Rashi Rice. I mean, just asking for a friend, how much waiver are you in for? How much fab are you chucking at Rice?
me,
Yeah.
0.00.
Oh, I am not
No,
having
I'm not.
that.
I've got no bid in. I don't want to waste the draft, the bench spot for 6 weeks. I'm just not interested in doing so. I think by the time 6 weeks comes around, if they're kind of 4-2, 5-1, they're going to break him in easy. They're going to bring him in gently. Lovely's going to have been doing stuff with all that at that record. Kelsey's going to be doing okay. Hollywood Brown's still going to be knocking about. And I think that they'll bring him. So I don't think it's 6 weeks you're waiting on. I think it's 8, 9, 10.
Does he qualify for the IR slots?
No,
Are you sure?
100%.
Because there is a setting on Sleeper that
Well,
specifically
I'm pretty
says,
confident it doesn't work. I'm pretty
well,
confident. You can't put a doubtful on it either.
but there is a setting on Sleeper that says our suspended players are allowed in IR, and in some of our leagues they are, in some they aren't. I think, though, to be
I
fair,
don't think it
Johnny's
does in this
leagues they're
one, but I've
not.
never tried, to be honest. I've never tried, so I wouldn't know.
Anyway, we'll see. Right, you're not in for him. I might have a couple of quid in for him. I'm going to leave it at that. Onwards and
It's fair
upwards,
enough.
right, the West, the final division, and I'm just going down the league. We'll start with your nearest and dearest, apart from Carol, Aaron. new to the
Well,
league.
let me just tell the wee story first. So,
Yes.
10 minutes before the draft, we're back and forward on WhatsApp, and I'm saying to him, right, remember, this isn't like the other leagues. There's no PPR in this league, no points per catch, no points per catch at all. It is yards and touchdowns. And, I said, don't forget, you can only play one tight end. The flex spot is a running back or a wide receiver. In this league, running backs are premium because there's no points per catch. Now, wide receivers are good and getting a good wide receiver, but running backs you always want to have a running back in your flex. So what does he go and do? He goes and drafts about 10 wide receivers.
He does. However, I'm not as
mean,
wedded to running backs in this league as you are. He's I wouldn't like I wouldn't have taken Montgomery because I took Pollard
no
after him.
chance.
I would have taken
Me
Pollard
neither.
first. And I wouldn't have taken Breece Hall either.
Me neither.
I would probably have taken Henderson. I would have taken a younger one as a potential keeper. Having said
Henderson,
that,
definitely.
I, I- when you look down the list there, I think it's got potentially slightly more depth in some of the rosters, but I don't think it's maybe got the star quality at the top end either. So
Agreed. I think his wide receiver room is very, very good, and I think I think whoever he plays, he's going to leave points on the bench every week, and we can't say that
yeah,
about everyone.
he needs Jackson to have another MVP caliber fantasy season, which is
And he needs
obviously
Montgomery to be as involved as he
yeah.
has been, and I'm just not sure he doesn't drop off a little bit. And he's
He,
going to need Breece Hall, Todd. He's not got any options at running back. His Ford's going to be overtaken, whether it be
yeah,
Judkins or whether it be Samson.
but
Ford is only going to be there for a couple of weeks.
he might get of all the leagues where Montgomery might still be relevant enough, it's probably this league because I think Montgomery will absolutely still get the 5 yard line in stuff or enough of it.
Yeah.
But it's still a limited upside. So I don't think Aaron's going to be sitting on a kind of 3-7 record thinking what the hell's going on at all. But
No,
I think
it's a long way to win it.
It might be difficult. Don't get me wrong, I think there's going to be a lot of 50-50 teams this year. I think everyone's going to eat each other alive more than ever before. It's been tight for a while now, but I think it's maybe got even more so.
Let's not forget 7-7 gets to playoffs more often than not. 7-7s get in and 7-7s don't, but 7-7s gives that will hit the playoffs. The eighth will be 7-7, so it's even if you do start kind of 1-3, 2-5, you're not out of it.
We've been relying on pumping Brodie left, right, and centre for the last few years. This year, if he's competitive.
Yeah, that's one of the last three you can't circle anymore, which is a tad annoying.
Worrying. Right. Commissioner Johnny, our 4-time champ. Johnny won it 4 times, 3 times?
No, twice. Two-time champ. But do you know what? I think he might be back this year. I think he's after it was year 1 and year 3 for him, so it's been a while, and it looks to me like he's going for it this year because I think he's drafted very well.
Well, to be fair, he last year he had a pretty average regular season, but he got into the playoffs with the old 50-50, and he came fourth. He got through. He got through to the point in semi-finals and came fourth. Good bloody finish. After well, I'm going to say he had a couple of years where he didn't make the playoffs, but before that he was in the playoffs just about every year. Well, he was.
He was.
He won it. So he was in the bowl for the first 4 years of the league. Yeah. He then came 5th, 12th, 2nd, 6th. I mean, he only missed the playoffs one of the first 8 years. Then he had a couple of down years, and then he was back last year in 4th. So I mean, what the hell? It's like always strong stuff. So he's, as you say, when you look down that list, actually, yeah. See, when you look at that, I think he might. I think he might be the clubhouse leader.
I like what he's done. I think he's got strength right through it, and I don't see, there's always somewhere that I can pick a wee, that for every team, especially in a 16-teamer, that I can pick a wee hole in it. But I even love his bench. I think Troy Franklin, especially after Veli getting the Heathrow, I think he's going to have weeks where he's going to score a lot of points. I like Demario Douglas because I think May's going to do really well.
Yeah.
And obviously, I love Matthew Golden, so it's I even like his
kicker,
bench.
Good kicker, good D, 2 quarterbacks. I mean, I presume you'll go with May because of Stafford's back, but Stafford's not going anywhere. Drake May's got the rushing upside. Hunter Henry not going to make you a break either. He's going to get points because there is no competition there. After that, he's got 3 starting good receivers. He's got 3 starting running backs, and Charbonnet, who is arguably probably the best running back too. He's certainly up there.
Yeah, I did. Certainly, he's looked very good in pre-season, and I think he will be taking touches this year, even with Walker on the feet. Walker fit and healthy.
Walker,
Walker's
Walker's a fantasy analyst darling this off season, and I've gone with it myself. I do get it, but at the end of the day, he's never proven yet that he can stay fit.
play 17 games, let alone anything else.
Yeah, so the chances are that's who he is.
As I say, I think Johnny's clubhouse favourite. I do agree with you. I think he's, as I say, I think Pickens is going to do really well in Dallas because I think they're going to be on that out. I am on Pickens for over, I think it's 45.5 yards tonight. That's one of my bets tonight. I think that's he will get that. Chuba Hubbard is going to lead that backfield, and they'll run the ball. They'll they'll give Young chances. They'll run the ball a lot. And Gibbs is Gibbs, and I love. And as I say, I've been heavily in on Drake May this year. Heavily in on him. I think he's going to be great.
That's the first roster, I think, where the flex isn't a difficult decision because I think he plays his 3 running backs and 2 wide receivers. That switched 2 wide receivers to field, and I think that's the first roster where there's a genuine problem deciding what to do there. I think everyone else's starting team pretty much picks itself, and that doesn't. So by that mark, Johnny, you are back.
And it's let's not forget that he's got the double-digit sacks. He's got Micah Parsons sitting in the Green Bay Packers defense. He's got how many sacks is that going to be in a season for him? I can only imagine double digits minimum.
Yeah, but
from one player in the defense.
Joe's got Nicky Bosa on the 49ers, so I mean, it's what happens across the league. Few sacks. Honestly, I don't know if that's worth 48 million a year, but if it is to you, fair enough.
If you win the Super Bowl, it's worth every penny. If we don't, then no, it's not. It's as simple as that, isn't it?
That's true. Right, Michael.
The king of the regular season.
Regular season darling. I mean, to put this in context, right? So I've got the stats. I like my spreadsheets, etc. So I'm just talking since league reconstruction in 2018 when we had these divisions, etc. He has had 67 regular season wins. The next closest is Sean with 58. Then you're down into the early 50s. He is by a distance, by a mile, the regular season darling.
Is he not number 1 4 years in a row? He was number 1 seed 4 years in a row.
2018 to 2021. His combined seeding position over those 7 years, his combined seed number is 19. So his average seed position is 2 point something. The next is shown at 39. It's
How
so
many
common.
Super Bowls has he been in?
Oh, like none. I mean, it's bad. So let's
It's
see.
uncanny.
Yeah, eighth last year, fifth, 11th, eighth, fourth, sixth, fourth. I mean, bad. He's not even been third. The lot of value in third, might I just add. He's never even
we,
been
we all
third.
know you first.
Oh no, he was third. Sorry, he was third in 2017 in his second year in the league. But yeah, anyway, right. So, what did he get? Right. So I think Michael, for some reason, after about 10 years, it was like he had dawned on realization that you don't have to keep two players. Anyway, so he kept Brock Bowers and Tyreek Hill. Not a move I would have made. I wouldn't have kept either of them. But
You wouldn't have kept Brock Bowers.
nah,
Really?
yeah, no, because
Oh, I would have kept Brock Bowers.
no,
That's a
because
difference maker. He's one of the three tight end difference makers, and he's the tight end difference maker for me. He is there that his team's number one target, and having him in at tight end, that could be like a 15, 16, 17 point lead on your opponent after in one place, in one spot. I think I would have kept Bibbles all day long. I wouldn't have kept Hill.
right, okay, I could buy in your Bowers chat because I suppose his next option was like Brian Thomas, Kyrie Williams, Nico Collins. He's probably he's a bigger difference maker at that position. To be fair, so right, fine. I'll get Tyreek Hill. Nah, definitely not.
I wouldn't have
But
kept Hill. Hill's one of those ones where he could have maybe got around later. He could have got a better player in the second round and taken a
yeah,
swing with Hill in the third. Because
definitely.
I mean, I, you know yourself, I've been in on Hill this year, and I am in on, but I'm not in on him because I love Tyreek Hill. I'm in on him from where he's going and his potential ceiling, and I just think that the ceiling is there.
Yeah, no, I get that. After that, where's it going? James Conner, Tyrone Tracy, Zay Flowers, Javonte Williams, Rashid Shaheed, who I like, Justin Herbert, Chris Kirk, Algier, Vikings, Ayamanor, who you love, Moody, probably not your best bet kicker, and a Royal. I don't think
You're like,
Michael's winning
I,
the off season, the regular season this year. Sorry.
I mean, I love Williams. I love Jamo Williams this year as well. I think he's going to get
No,
more.
it's Javonte Williams.
I think
It's
that
not Jamo. Javonte. It's the Dallas back.
So I sorry, okay, right, okay, I take that back. But I do love I love Iman this year. I just think where he's going as well. I think he's going to be the number two receiver probably straight away, and I think that he'll be involved with a potential superstar in Cam Ward at quarterback. So yeah, I like Imanov, and I think he'll be in his team sooner rather than later because I think that. I mean, Williams could do fine. He'll certainly start well. He's got a chance at the start, and if he does well, then he'll keep the job. So I think there is potential in Javonte Williams, and he was going down late enough.
He's good at pass pro, so he'll be on the field plenty, to be fair to him. Sorry, I was just getting distracted. And you see the coverage just started for tonight's match. We've got Big Andy Reid on. Anyway, that's Michael. He's going to be competitive, but he's not.
I agree, though. I do agree with you. I don't think he's going to be winning the regular season this year. But stranger things have happened. He's always had that. When I look at every year when I look at Michael's team, it looks really, really strong. This is the first year in a while I've looked at it and thought, yeah, I'll take that.
Absolutely. And then to round things off, we've got other Sean, our second Sean, number one pick in the draft.
Number pick.
Went
He's
at,
went very all in on a few teams. He's not wanting to watch a lot of football this year because all his players come from about 4 teams.
yeah, he's a wee bit. I mean, he's gone Gen 2 at number one. We obviously get that.
Yeah.
That's the obvious one. Brian Thomas at the next pick. Nice. It was him or probably Nico Collins. toss a coin in there. Collins, another one. I gave up so many good players, man. Rachel Spear, Jacobs and Collins, I just let them go. I still don't know how I didn't win last year, but I could go on with that for another hour. Jenny,
You lost in the semi-final to a better team.
don't, honestly, don't. Trey McBride, Travis Etienne, DJ Moore, Jacoby Myers, Harris, Najee Harris, you don't trust the eye, Najee. Williams, Ferguson, Beck, he's gone. He's disappeared off the radar. McCarthy, McPherson, the Chiefs. And
It really has, and I was quite big on him. I drafted him in quite a few of the dynasty rookie drafts, and I've got very much buyer's remorse before a Wolverine kick.
Last pick in the draft, don't underestimate Keenan Allen. Particularly early on.
No, definitely not. I agree with you. He could be very. I mean, he's a comfort blanket for Herbert, so absolutely don't underestimate him. I agree. I think he could do well.
Right, if you're selecting his starting lineup for this week, are you putting Keenan Allen in it? Because I am.
Yes, I'm putting him in over Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, I think I would as well.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Well,
I hate that he's got so many. I hate that he's got 2 Jacksonville, players. I hate that he's got 3 Vegas players because he's going all in on teams that aren't great, And
the only thing about Vegas, Chip Kelly's going to run a hell of an amount of plays, so
absolutely
there'll be opportunities. But I think you're probably starting 3 receivers in that week 1 team.
So you're definitely starting 3 receivers. I mean, he's only got 3 running backs, and one of them's Najee Harris, who's not pulled, who's done nothing all summer because he's so you're not starting him.
Yeah, totally. So all in all, I think for the West, I think Johnny will be well happy with his competition in that division.
I agree.
Not only is Johnny clubhouse leader, I think he's got a nice enough division there as well to just like rubber stamp that.
I agree. I think Johnny will win the division.
And I tell you the other thing that Johnny is well capable of doing, because he and I have said this in the past. Johnny will sell next year to win this year. He won't quiver. He will go out there and try and add if he thinks he's in there, and he'll get, he will get joy. Like, people will sell. So, yeah, Johnny's the man to watch for me. After that, I don't think anyone else really sticks out. I think there's 5-6 teams that are solid as the. Injuries are going to be everything. They always are, I guess. And we sit here and think there's going to be no one in agency. There's going to be no one in agency. But it's the NFL. There's going to be players in agency.
There's going to be plenty in agency. That's that. You know what they say, that you don't win your title at the draft. You just don't. You never do. You can look good. You can look strong. You can get the right players in. But you win and lose your draft, the title in agency. It's the way it goes. Or trading.
And to be honest, once I've got T. Higgins out of Mark and Travis Kelce, I'm probably going to feel better about life. So Bijan might be a wee bit difficult to get from him. I'm not going to lie, but
I would imagine. But you go knocking on his door. I'm away to knock Groties and convince him that next year's his year and that he needs to trade me this guy and that guy.
I tell you what, Grote will not be doing that this year. I've gone back in his team and I'm not. I don't know. I think by week 5 or week 6 he might throw the toys. I think he's invested in this year, but I think he might lose faith quickly. I could see you getting 10 out of him.
Then I'm knocking his door.
Yeah, 100%. Right, so that's the league. We've got nothing else to cover with Show Me the Money, I don't think.
No, I think that's Show Me the Money is we're up and running. As I say, it's year 12. Good luck to everyone. Let's see if we can. Is it going to be a repeat winner? Is it going to be a new name on the trophy? I've not got the trophy yet. I've not picked up from Sean. That's on me, not Sean. He's messaged on several occasions, and I've said I'll drive over and get it. But the last thing I want to do after driving up to St Andrews and back down again is then jump in the car and drive away up Easter Road. So I will pick it up soon
Have you
before our next
got a
golf game,
ring?
so you can present it.
Have you got? Oh, fuck! I never even thought about
Well, I have.
that. Oh,
that
it would only be right
that's why I do the
that
thinking in this relationship.
I forgot about that because you did present it to me, didn't you?
I did indeed.
Right. Okay. Have you got a ring?
Yes, I've got a ring. Yes, I've got my ring. You want to see my ring?
Yes. Let's compare rings.
I have my ring.
Christ Almighty, that's a week. Are they the same or do they change each year?
Yeah, not mine is
Yours looks
nicer.
a bit. Yours looks a bit blingier.
Mine is blingier. So there we go. That's what you're
That's
after.
a ring, right? That's a ring, Brody. If you're still
That's
watching,
what you're after.
that's what you're after, right? Only the good ones get them. He's
Until
never
you've
going to
got
do
one,
it.
you don't get it. You need to wrap it.
He's actually never going to do it.
No.
He's just
He'll get close. He'll get close before. I mean, don't get me wrong. If we're still going in 20 years' time, I'm going to say the law of averages dictates that one's going to fall to him at some point along the way, you know.
Do you know
But
who else is?
I don't
Do you know
think it's
who
going to
else
be
is going?
anytime soon. And if it's not this year, because that squad is solid, you know, I could easily see him and Johnny in the Super Bowl.
Do you know who else is never getting one?
Real.
100%. Graham has got your classic white line fever. He really does. He does. He can't go over the winning line.
It's honestly, it's just one of these ones. It's just never going to fall to him, and he pretends that it doesn't bother him, but I know it does.
Has he won any dynasties?
Yeah, he wins leagues every year, because he's always
No,
consistent.
wait a minute. Are you sure? I need to go to I need to go to my dynasty Google Sheets.
He's always consistent, but yeah, no, he's okay.
Oh, where the
He
hell
will
is
win it again. He'll win it. He'll win it one year. And when he does win it, he'll absolutely run away with it. He'll smash it. But yeah, I don't. The pressure gets on more and more and more, and I'm sure he puts himself under a lot of pressure for it, which is
Let me
funny.
see. Let me see. Oh no, he has had a couple of wins. He has had a couple of
Yeah,
wins.
he always
Oh,
gets
right.
a
He
few
won. Yeah.
wins.
What did he win? He won. So he won Dynasty 19 in 2020. That was COVID victory doesn't count.
Asterix.
Oh, he won. He won the first year of the Hit 'em Hard Dynasty as well. Oh,
Yeah.
2021. He's not won anything since then. Oh, that's a long time.
Well, we'll
Oh,
see what happens this year. It's certainly. Do you know what the best thing about right now is? Everyone's undefeated.
that's
You
true.
know, everyone in fantasy football's undefeated, so
Full of
that won't be
optimism.
the case this time next week. But
Same for the Packers and the 49ers. So, what, we've not chatted about this at all, even by message. I mean, you completely, the first night, not when Parsons happened, I had messaged the night before because there was a bit of chat, and you just never bit. You never said a thing.
I can't.
You ignored me, and I thought, yeah, he's
I
not
did.
engaging. He doesn't want to believe that this is possible. He just thinks that I'm at it. And I read a couple of things that were like, actually,
No,
no,
I heard
this,
the noise as well, but I just thought it was noise. It's we
yeah,
don't do these things. I just thought it was noise. It's like don't be stupid. We ain't going to do that. That's ridiculous. There's no way we're giving up Do you know the last time we gave up a first round pick for a player not to move back in the draft? Do you know the last time we gave up our first
yeah.
round pick? 1986.
Jesus.
We
So
don't do
I mean,
that.
I don't think the pick price is expensive.
No,
Uh,
because it's going to be late picks, hopefully.
it's late picks. I don't even. So I've looked because this matters. I've looked at Sport Track. I've looked at the cat picks. I don't know if you've done that. You've probably not.
No.
You might be pleasantly surprised by the cat picks.
No, we've got a young team. We've still got a lot of players on.
Not him. No, I'm talking about his cat pick. It's not that bad for the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. But it'll hit us later on.
He and Love hit you in the same year in about 3 years' time. But I mean, that's restructured central. But he's like for the next 3 years, I don't even think it's much over 20 million as a cat pick on the face of it. I don't know if I'm missing something. So I was thinking, well, yeah, your cap's got to be fucked like in 2 years' time or something. I don't even know if it is. So yeah, on the face of it, heck. So what do you
Yeah, I
think?
mean, I'm more than happy with it. I've got to say, and I mean, there's no getting away from the fact that we're putting our chips down on the table and we're saying let's play. You know, we're ready to go. That doesn't win you Super Bowls. You know, you need a lot of luck to get to the Super Bowl and to win it as well. So, but it certainly puts us in a great, and as you very well know, but it certainly puts us in a very, very good position to come at it again. As you keep rapping on about it, it's going to come down to Jordan Love. You don't think he's got it. I kind of do. So I would be lying if I said I wasn't excited.
I mean, truthfully, I don't know if he's got it or not. I think a lot of what he's done so far, a lot of what he's been guilty of is young quarterback stuff that people can mature out of for sure. His big
It's a young receiver core.
to me his biggest guilt is that he looks for the Hollywood ball, and I kind of get that. That's what young guys can do. He's got an arm, so he does it, and he goes and looks for the ball, and he gets interceptions off the back of it. If the coaches can literally just stop him from doing that, then yeah, it's all there.
Aaron Rodgers in his first couple of years. Look at Brett Favre in his first couple of years. That's what they did.
Yeah.
And, you know, it worked out well for them. I think Jordan Love's going to be better than you think he is. I think he's going to prove it this year. And I think we're going to be in the NFC Championship game. I just don't know who will be playing there. And, you know, at that point, it's any given Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, it's an obvious thing to do. I mean, I backed the Eagles ages ago because I felt that they would, at some point in the season, they will get shorter. I'm not saying that I think they will go back to back because that's quite a big thing to do, but I was almost certain that they would be shorter and would get a decent trade, and it maybe still will. I don't, you know, they're still definitely the NFC favourites, and they've got the deepest roster, etc., etc. There's not a I don't think the East. I don't think the NFC is that deep. I think there's 3 or 4 teams behind them that are capable. You're one of them. We're one of them. Detroit, maybe.
Detroit are one of them, and Minnesota are one of them as well.
You've got a tight division.
You can make a case for almost any team apart from the teams in the South, really. It's and you can make a big case for Tampa because they're in the South. I don't think it's as weak as people make it out to be. The quarterbacks are weaker than the AFC.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's maybe more depth. The Rams are strong if Stafford's fit.
Absolutely. You know, it's the Cardinals might not be if they can find something in defense. They've got a good offense.
Our division could be a little bit irritating because I don't. Seattle will be pushovers. They'll be too good at running the ball, and they'll be too good defensively to just be pushovers. So yeah, but don't get me wrong. If our rookies are developed reasonably well, I think we'll do pretty well. When you look at our team captains list for the season, it's ridiculous, but it's what there is behind that. It's why they're the the rookies can back that up, and I don't know. They might.
You've got to buy to you've got to buy to the playoffs as well. You could
Well,
easily
should
schedule them known to
the schedule,
man.
yeah,
So
the schedule should be a scoosh.
there's no excuse for you either. This, your window
No,
is starting to close.
I
You've got
think
to win it. If you're going to win it, you've got to do it soon, or you've got to rebuild it
yeah,
all again.
even with some injuries, I think we should still make the playoffs. And if we don't, then literally tear it up. And I suspect that's what would happen.
You go.
At the end of the day, it's like Super Bowls in San Francisco. They're not talking about that because they got burned by Vegas, but without doubt, that will be in the building and it will be getting talked about. But they'll all be saying to each other, "Do not talk about it in the media." And I don't think they'll trip themselves up for quite a while. I think they've got their. We'd like to think they've got their game faces on. I think they're all thirsty as fuck after last season, so we'll see.
Your
But
owner was staying in my hotel. I said I went and asked if Kyle's next in this, shouldn't I? I should have went and asked him that.
do I think it's possible that it's a Packers 49ers NFC match? Yeah. Yeah.
I take it. Yeah.
I think it's well possible. I don't know which ground it will be at, which stadium it will be at, but
I just worry that the Eagles are there. That's why I hope the Cowboys can pull off a shock week one and then just pull out a win, to somehow find a way to beat them tonight and get them off to a slow start, because it would be nice to see them drop one early.
so if it's a Packers 49ers NFC match,
At Levi, then we're going to Levi 2 weeks in a row. Is that what you're telling me?
no, whichever stadium's at, just hypothetically say it's an NFC Championship match, and I'm 50 next year. Are we going to San Francisco?
No, we're going to Green Bay.
No, but are you and I going to the Super Bowl? Are we committing to go to the Super Bowl regardless of who wins that match?
You want to go to the Super Bowl next year for your birthday?
Well,
Well, I'm not going on. I'm not going to San Francisco, not to go to Levi Stadium. So if we are, we're getting tickets.
Right. Well, I'm just saying. But obviously, there's a big problem there. Whoever team loses. I mean, I'm not saying I would want to go and watch the Packers, but that's the risk we take.
Oh, so that's what we're saying. If it's a 49er Packers final, then we both have to. I'm in for that. I'm definitely in for that.
Yeah.
I really don't want to go and watch the 49ers get humped off Kansas again, right enough, but needs must.
I mean, the city would be a morgue, but it's not going to lie. Right, so that's it, right? Before we finish up, because we've been yakking away for an hour and a half. AFC, what are you thinking?
AFC, I think, is not going to be Kansas this year. In fact, my out there pick of the year is that they're not even going to win the division. I think they'll make the playoffs, obviously, but I don't think they're going to win the division this year. I think this is the year that either the Broncos or the Chargers step up. More likely the Chargers. So that's my out there pick. But for the AFC, I think it's going to come down to Baltimore and Buffalo again, and I think that Josh Allen's going to get one over and get to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I do, but to be honest, I can't argue with you. I'm finding it very hard to have a strong opinion on Baltimore and Buffalo. It just feels like a coin toss. They just both feel like super strong, deep teams.
There's no bad areas. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They're not loaded with superstars in the receivers. Backs. You've got kind of Davies and Cook. Yeah, they're going to run a lot of yards, but that's more because the lines are really good. And that's the thing about Baltimore and Buffalo is that they don't have the holes, and they're both led by very good quarterbacks.
No, totally. But we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I'd be happy for Jackson and Allen to win a ring. Of course, it would depend on who it's against. Obviously, if it's against a different story. But if it's against you,
Who are you choosing for the AFC?
Gun to my head. I think I'd probably err slightly on the Ravens side over the Bills. But I genuinely have a feeling that Kansas are going to have a wee. I mean, they got the Super Bowl last year, so it's hard to say a bounce back because they got to the Super Bowl and losing Super Bowl teams always do badly and whatever else. I don't know, I just have a niggly feeling, but I've got PTSD about Kansas, so it might be that as well. Is there anyone else? Probably not. The Bengals D isn't good enough, I don't think. Their offense.
No, that's what I was going to say if you meant. The D's just not good enough. They're going to
The,
lose
ro-
too many
the,
games.
the road card is probably the Broncos because of Sean Payton and the defense is probably going to be really good. So is that enough? Is
They need Harvey to be something special if they're going to go all the way. I would say.
I don't know. I think Sean Payton can maybe like with his play calling and whatever else can maybe deal with that. After that, who have you got? Probably no one after that.
Houston's the only other one that you can really go to and say, well, you're going to be in the playoffs, so I just don't think they're good enough.
I don't think I think they're these strong enough and it'll get them to the playoffs, but I don't know. I don't think they maybe just got quite enough. Chargers.
No, I don't think so.
Because of Jim Harbaugh, I couldn't go against the Chargers either because Harbaugh just wins football matches. But
he does, but then he doesn't win the big ones. So
big ones, he does. So yeah, no, I'm saying the Ravens, but they're the favourites. So is that too obvious? But
it's the Ravens, the Bills, or the Chiefs. I just think that the Chiefs are going to. They've been there too much now. I think that this is the year that they don't get there. And it's this that bye Kelsey at the end of it. Blah blah. So yeah, for me, it's got to be between the three of them. The rest of them, there's a clear gap to the rest of them from those three.
But I just if the Eagles don't have injury problems, I just think the deepest roster they've got it in every position, both sides of the ball. But it's why they've got enough to be back to back. The Chiefs and the Patriots were doing. Why Hurts is actually a superstar quarterback because ultimately the Chiefs and the Patriots have gone and done what they've done because of the quarterbacks. They've had coaches and Belichick and Andy Reid. It's no coincidence that they are two of the very best of all time. But it goes hand in hand with the quarterback. And I don't know if the Eagles head coach and the Eagles quarterback is just maybe they're not in that category either. So
I agree.
Maybe history doesn't. You don't cheat history either, maybe. So yeah, interesting season though. I think it should be pretty competitive and wide open.
I don't think it'll be the Eagles this year. I agree with you in the sense that Hurts is a good quarterback and all that, but they're winning. And they're a solid team. There's no bad areas, but yeah, I just don't think Hurts is an elite. I don't think he's one of the top ones. I think and I think that might show a bit this year because teams are going to be. Everyone wants to beat the Super Bowl champs, and I think they'll suffer for that this year.
Yeah, but it's back, and the only thing that we've not mentioned briefly is bloody Red Zone and how this is all going to play out with the commercials and whatever.
That annoys me greatly, but we'll see how it plays out. At the end of the day, I'll still be watching Red Zone on one of the tellies because it's Red Zone and you get to see everything going on. And if there's an ad flashing up every 15 minutes or whatever, then so be it. But I can still see the action.
They'll probably do it gently this year, and it'll slowly get worse and worse. It's probably almost
absolutely.
But
I think we'll be okay this year.
It is kind of amazing that I don't know if there'll be duplication of matches between Sky and Channel 5, but if we've got 3 live matches at each of the kickoffs, the vast bulk of the slate every week is live on British TV. It's fantastic.
Exactly.
You don't get that.
Not,
You don't get that with the Premier League.
no, it's brilliant, and it's brilliant for the game, and it's going to be brilliant for the fantasy league as well. You know, because there's just more and more to be watching, more knowledge to be gained. You know, from doing so, and you'll see more of each player than just the red zone when it's only the highlights. You know, and when they're driving. So
Oh,
yeah,
definitely.
it
I
can only
think
be a
that,
good thing.
I think this year I'm going to try and watch a little bit more maybe a red zone on the computer in the background rather than avidly watching it and watch more fuller matches. I've got too used to watching red zone, and it gets the playoffs, and you're like, this is just a totally different sport watching it that way. And I'm
I
never
know,
sure
I
that
know,
never
I
sure
agree.
that's a good thing.
I agree, but I can't do it because I'm addicted to red zone. And as much I would love, I could say it. I could say I'm going to do that. I'd probably be lying, you know, because at the end
Every
of the day, I'm going to go to red zone. I'm not going to come off it, unless
every
it's the
Sun
Packers, obviously.
every Sunday night, I sit and think, right, I've got like 5 6 hours tonight. I'm going to get all sorts of stuff done whilst the NFL's on. I end up just like sitting.
No, no, exactly. Following teams, following bets, and
Yeah, and
everything. You know, the action's free flowing.
yeah,
Can't move.
it's something that's grown over the years, but yeah, it's brilliant. But I probably need to try and not watch as many league games and go to bed earlier and whatever else.
No, I'm going to do that as well. But then I'm going to hopefully start taking Mondays off work instead of Fridays, so I can sit up and watch all the Sunday stuff. You know.
Oh, jeez. Good on you. Right, we better end this.
Always a pleasure, sir.
Yeah, I think Johnny's in the background and he will actually end it. So thank you very much. That was good crack.
Good luck in the season.
You too. Well, I don't know. I honestly hope you have a nightmare. I hope the Packers. I don't know. I kind of want you to do well and then fall on your face rather than just fall on your face. Like shoot for
Defending
glory.
champ, bitch.
Whatever. We've all won it. It just took you your time. Right, I'll let
Yeah, good
Johnny
luck,
know that.
everyone else. So,
Good luck, everyone else. Cheers.
good night. I think Johnny's maybe falling asleep.
No, I've messaged them. Yeah, we messaged me a couple of minutes ago, so he is in the back.